Hello everyone, it's Nick Peters, the Gaming Theologian here, and I affirm the virgin birth. We're going back to the Metroid Zero Mission here, continuing our exploration. And think about what I could talk about with this today, and still going on the theme of Samus Aran being female, I figured one aspect of this we could all discuss is the crisis we have in America today, that people are not getting married and they are not having kids. So much so that there is what is known as the walk-away movement, where men have walked away from dating. This is not all men, of course. I'm still very interested in finding someone someday, but a lot of men have walked away. And frankly, why shouldn't they? I hate to say that, but that's the way it is. I thought there might be something here. You know, if we go back to the Garden of Eden, we find that the curse would mean that enmity would exist between the man and the woman. And that's happened today. Traditionally, men and women have been meant to work together with their unique strengths and differences. We're not just talking about the differences it takes to make a baby, although those are definitely included. But men and women are different in vast ways, including not just their bodies, their strengths or capabilities, but even something as simple as, say, their temperaments, their psychology, things of that sort. And traditionally, men have been the leaders in our society. Well, I remember that from the original Metroid. Unfortunately, I'm skeptical if there's any way to get to it. Aside from where... Yeah, I guess I gotta get the high jump boots first. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Men have been the leaders in society, but recently this has come into question, and it goes back to even prior to the women's suffrage movement. And unfortunately, many of the women in that movement did not hold a high view of Christianity or even of marriage. It's something you don't really hear a lot about. And even before then, there were women who were saying that marriage is a parochial trap that has been put out by men. And I'm getting an idea of something I'd like to try here, so I'm going to do that. And this breaks down the fabric of society, eventually when it's done. Because now, men and women aren't working together. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do that. They're competing against one another. You know, in some ways this could be fine if it's a harmless game or something. Sure. But when it comes to society as a whole, you want men and women working together for the common good. When that stops happening, you have problems. Now let's go forward a whole lot further in time. We have a movement after the whole Harvey Weinstein story and casting couch called Me Too. Now, I want you to know with all of these movements, I'm not denying that these people could very well have had good intentions with these. But good intentions does not equal good results. And what happens is we get the saying of believe all women. Except where this believe all women happens to be very selective. For instance, if it's a conservative Christian Republican, you believe him. But if it's someone who's accusing a left-wing Democrat, where you don't believe him. It's very convenient the whole way it worked out. And you go forward a bit further in time, and honestly, I would not have noticed a lot of this stuff, unfortunately, if I hadn't been divorced and seen what happened in my own eyes, from my own experience. You get a movement called I choose the bear. Now what is this? This is when women were asked, and I think this question began with the Whatever podcast. Women were asked if you could meet either a random man or a bear in the forest, which would you prefer? And women started saying that they chose the bear. Not a good move, because that really shows you how negatively men were viewed then. Oh, that was interesting. Okay, I know what I need to do. Now, I'm someone who would consider myself one of the good guys. Say, okay, on what basis? Because every guy would say they're a good guy. Well, I don't drink, smoke, do drugs, don't use profanity, and I don't watch pornography either. You can check my browser history, you will not find anything like that there. I know that makes me a rarity, but that's the way I am. But because I happen to have a Y chromosome, that means I automatically get linked in with every other guy out there. Or rather, sadly, the bad guys, because really most men are not the way they are portrayed. But we're made to answer for all of them. Now, I tell women, when you say, I choose the bear, bad guys will see that and say, I don't care. All I want to do is get to have an easy roll in the hay, and if you just want to say you choose a bear, well, okay, I'm not looking for a long-term relationship anyway, so that doesn't bother me. But good guys will say, okay, if that's how you see me, then I'm better off just avoiding you. And that's what happens. Okay, I think I need something else to activate this, because I saw it in the screen. When I was waiting for this game to load, I saw her using, Samus using something else, so we'll see about that. Anyway, so, guess what kind of guys you're more likely to attract that way? The bad guys. And then the cycle repeats itself over and over. Modern dating apps also have not really helped with this. Okay, I'm not trying that one. Because, you know what, it used to be that you lived in one part of the world, and where was your dating pool? That part of the world. If you wanted to find someone, you had to look where you were. Now, what do you get? Well, guys have to compete with pretty much everyone else in the world. And it's easy to just swipe someone out of the way based on a picture and a paragraph. And honestly, we both do it. Men and women both do this. And if you're a guy who's struggled to find romance before, and now you have to compete against everyone, you're in far more trouble than you were before. And then also, there's often an entitlement policy with this, the idea of, oh, well, I can do better than this person. And something that's been said is men have been raised being told how they should treat women. Not a bad thing. I agree with that. Men should treat women properly. But here's the thing. Women were never raised being told, or at least not often being told, how to treat a man. Instead, it was more, here's how you should be treated by a man. And we'll see if I can do something unusual here, see if it works. But this is what Metroid is about. Yeah. I might not be supposed to do that way, but we'll see what happens. Okay, I don't think it matters. If that's correct, they did a good job of making sure people can't cheat to get to early areas. Very good on them. And women have been raised being told they're all princesses, they all deserve the best. And unfortunately, that's what they're going with a lot of times. And a lot of women are passing up a lot of good guys because of this. Usually when I see women asking, where are the good men at? My answer is always the same. Check your friend zone. That's where they usually are. Those are the guys that have been neglected because they don't meet all the ideas for what's wanted. Now, I'm not at all denying that men can't have ridiculous standards as much. But if you check dating apps, a lot of times men are sending a whole lot more likes out there on these apps. And getting less back. I'm on dating apps. I've sent out several likes and things of that sort. Nothing. Where if there is anything, I can count on one hand the number of replies I've got. It's happening. And then there's the idea that a lot of women are wanting a guy who's 6 feet tall, at least, makes 6 figures, and has a 6-pack. The 666 combination. Unfortunately, you are ruling out a huge majority of men. And men like that, they could pretty much have any girl they want. So you'd have to give them some reason why you should stand out. And if you don't have that, then you're setting yourself up for failure automatically. But if you go and think automatically, well, I deserve XYZ, then you're gonna have problems with that. Because men are not going to give you everything of that. And men, we're wanting women that will give us peace in our lives. And we're not seeing that as much. It's why men are walking away, because their lives are peaceful enough already. They don't need anything adding to that. Unfortunately, this does have to change. Because society cannot last if men and women are not coming together and having children. What can be done? Well, also, something else I need to add. Men are living in constant fear as well of being seen as creeps. If we do, hypothetically, something that is perceived as wrong, we're in danger automatically. We could be mocked on social media. We could have any number of claims made us. We could get called into HR. Anything like that. See, a few months ago, I had a girl come into the post office where I work. And I got to find out her name. That's pretty much all I knew. Except I knew she worked with the president of our seminary. And so I'm on good terms with him. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, can you talk to her and me and find out if she would be interested? And he said he would. Okay, I did not make a good decision here. I don't think I'm going to last much longer. Yep. And unfortunately, it did not turn out well. She said she was happy being single, but the next question I asked was, did I seem like a creep? Because that's the fear. You will be seen as a creep. I wish it wasn't the case, but that is our fear. And a lot of us do struggle with fears of rejection. Which I'd say, ladies, if a guy works up the courage to ask you out, and unless you have some reason to think he's a psychopath or something beyond him being a man, give him a chance. Okay? It takes a lot for a man to ask a woman out. And nowadays, men will not go that route unless they have some reason to believe that they will get a yes answer. And ladies, we are not good at reading signals. And unfortunately, that kind of goes both ways, because women I encounter can't usually tell if I'm interested in them. In fact, women I know who I work with who are already married can't tell that I'm trying to reach out to someone. So yeah, we're often at an impasse. And if that means women have to start making the first move, well, that might just mean that. I don't think that's ideal, but that's where we've come. And then once you get married, the idea needs to be that where if you have a problem in your marriage, do everything you can to fix it. No-fault divorce has done such a great evil in our society. I'm a victim of it. And when someone divorces in this society, and sadly, it's being normally women who are initiating, when that happens, then guys are just left holding the barrel. They pay for it the rest of their lives. And, the state takes the side automatically of whoever files and wants the divorce. Can you imagine how that would be in any other area of life if when someone decided they wanted to break a promise that they made, that the state took the side of whoever wants to break the promise automatically? But that's what happens in divorce. In marriage, it's nothing easy. Even the happiest couples have to work in marriage. What I tell people is when Cinderella woke up the next day, Prince Charming had bad breath. And he probably had gas all night long too. And when he woke up the next day, Cinderella did not look in the same beautiful, pristine condition that she looked the night before. She had a huge bad hair day going on. And that's just the start of it. Couples will fight. Doesn't have to be the end of things. It's up to them if it will be. Are you going to work through your differences? Or are you going to give up on things? Giving up is easy. But it usually doesn't produce results that are good. Ladies, something else also I have to stress for you. Do not have sex with your man before you marry him. And no one can say I'm saying that from a position of self-interest. Because frankly, for me, having to be chaste is still very hard. Go back this way, see if there was anything that I missed here. It's nothing I delight in. But I do know it is what my faith requires of me. And if that's what it requires, then that's what I have to do. Ladies, you are a treasure, and yeah, men are visual creatures. We want to see you, okay? But you, in this case, are indeed a privilege. And if you think the only way you can keep a man is if you have sex with him, that's not a man worth keeping. A good man can be tempted in this area. No doubt. In fact, he will be tempted. But, that being said, if he's a good man, he will strive to control his temptations. Ladies, do not start up anything like an OnlyFans. I do not see how it is women's liberation that women take off their clothes as much as they can for men. That's not how it's supposed to be. That a guy does not respect you if you do that. Leaving, he just sees you as an easy target, an easy rolling hay. No one can put a price tag on you, just like they can't put a price tag on a man. But I say this because largely, it's where the fact is really women normally control the market in this area, as it were. Women decide when the relationship moves to that level or not. And you're gonna have to decide what you're worth. Worth dinner and a movie? Worth a week? A month? 6 months? A year? Engagement? Or are you worth a lifetime commitment? And that agreement has to be given up front. And if a man thinks you are worth a lifetime commitment, he will put in the work to do that. Men love that kind of challenge. If they know you are interested in them, they will do most anything they can for you. That's the way we are. Men care that much. And if you have a good man, he wants to please you. He really does. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. That makes a lot more sense with things you learn. Ladies, there are good men out there. I consider myself one of them. But you're not going to find a good man also if you view men as the enemy and you set yourself up as being in competition against men. Men do not want to be competing with you. Men want their women, believe it or not, to be feminine. We value femininity. It's what makes you different from us. And it's what's so intriguing and exciting about you from us. And biblically, men and women are supposed to work together like this. Men and women are not supposed to be opposed. They're supposed to be partners. They're supposed to be allies. Not just in making babies, but in everything, including raising those babies. This is unusual. Yeah, that's nice. And if men and women work together, they can build up one another's strengths very well. Women are strong often in areas where men are weak, and vice versa. And there's no wrong in this. It's the way we were made to be. It's all about playing to our strengths. And that's what we need to do. As soon as you embrace an ideology that tells you men are the enemy, you're setting yourself up on a path that will not go well. Ooh, speaking of paths that won't go well, yeah, this one won't. How I can beat this guy exactly. Yeah, this is something new here. reason, I can stay over here and keep refilling my health. Until I figure out how I'm supposed to beat this guy. Getting an idea here. Yeah, I think I know what I'm supposed to do now. So basically, that's going to be my message tonight. Men and women work best when they work together. We don't need to be opposed. Men need to treat women right, yes. Women need to honor men properly as well. Now let's beat this guy here. Just so you guys know, I'm not doing anything like looking things up on the internet on how to beat these guys. I didn't even know this guy was here. So I'm trying to do as much of this game as I can without using the internet. Which so far has been none. Let's hope I keep it that way. I think I've got this guy's pattern down. Well, so I thought. I moved a little bit too early that time. But Jimmy seems to be whenever he opens his mouth there, as it were, that's the best time to move. When I figure that out, that's when a new variable comes in. Definitely a new added challenge to this game. Unfortunately, the lava doesn't drain your health as fast as it did in other Metroid games. If you're already married, in a way, do everything you can to build up your marriage. Marriage is a sacred gift. It's not to be entered into lightly. Once you're in it, stay in it. Work on it. build it up. I'm not saying divorce is never an option, but it should definitely be the last option. Go into marriage thinking automatically it is for life. You will stop after I beat this guy. After I beat this guy, we'll go back to the saving point. Guys, gotta go down soon. That was not my finest hour. So let's get some health back here. Go forward. I can see why some people love this game so much, because bosses like this really make it worthwhile. They're not impossible, but they're not easy either. I learned to stop doing that. Like that. This area works a little bit better actually, because it's easier to get all the health bonuses. Now notice when it gets stuck on this side and seems to stay there a little bit longer, and it seems to be easier to hit. There you go. Moving down here. Oh, that's misleading. Okay, well now we're gonna... Well, I guess we can't go right back to the save point there. So I think I see where we need to go. Now, it's had to give us some kind of bonus vote, didn't it? I can beat this guy. It's like, okay, so what happened as a result of that? Let's go back and check one more time. Nothing indicates there's anything down there. That's really odd, because normally you would think that if you beat a boss, something happens. Or maybe we'll find out later on what it was. Well, people, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'd really appreciate if you join my Patreon also. It makes it far easier for me to do these kinds of things. I'd love to be able to someday get to a point where I'm doing this nearly every night, just talking with you all about these kinds of things. Well, for now, I'm Nick Peters, the Gaming Theologian, and I affirm the Virgin Birth, and we'll see you next time.